You know, doctors go into their profession knowing that they're going to be dealing with illness, with injuries, even with death on a daily basis. It's part of the job.
But what happens when that illness and death happens to someone you love? Well, in the case of one local doctor, you use that loss to help others survive. When Dr. Natalie Jones of Salisbury lost her sister Monica to cancer, she was devastated.
It was a day I knew was coming eventually, unless a miracle took place, but it was a day I didn't want to face.
It was only 15 years prior that Monica was a seemingly healthy young woman, but in 1999 she found a lump in her breast.
Almost the size of I'd say a small golf ball, and it was very round and it was palpable.
A biopsy revealed Monica had stage 2 breast cancer.
The thing about it was that he wanted her to have a mastectomy, which was the right way to go, but she opposed to it because of the fact of her age being young, and she was concerned about her cosmetic appearance, and she didn't want her breast removed. So she opted to go for a lumpectomy with the radiation and chemotherapy.
Following the surgery, Monica's outlook was good.
And she stayed in remission for about 5 years. And during the time she was in remission, they had her on the tamoxifen therapy. She was taking the tamoxifen, which is a cancer suppressive agent. And during that time, they were, doing CT scans. She was getting her blood work done. She was having mammograms done every 6 months because she had to have very close surveillance. And there was no sign or any evidence of cancer at that time.
After the 5 years, Monica's doctor took her off tamoxifen. A month later, the cancer returned, this time in her spine.
Now remember, she still had her breasts on. She never had the mastectomy. So my belief in looking back at everything is that there were still some tumor cells were still present, possibly in her breast, and they started to grow again. And the bone is one of the major areas where breast cancer spreads to.
At this point, Monica was at stage 4. Doctors gave her 5 years, but they had to first remove a tumor on her spine, a major surgery that they weren't sure she would even survive.
Thank God she made it out. God brought her out. It was a miracle. At that point, my sister became a walking miracle.
After her recovery, Monica stayed in the clear for another 6 years.
Then the shocking news came in 2012 when she went up to do her CT scan. They had found small metastatic nodules on the outside of her lungs.
At that point, Monica went ahead with a mastectomy, but Natalie knew it was probably too little too late. And following more surgeries and chemotherapy treatments, Monica's doctor gave Natalie the news.
But she says, we've done everything we can do for your sister. And she said she's fought a good fight, but she said, I think the end's coming.
And Natalie says Monica knew too. She asked her sister to write her obituary.
I said, you're not going anywhere. She says, yes, I am. She says, I've been fighting a long time, Natalie. She says, you know that.
A few short weeks later, Monica was gone.
She was beautiful inside and out, and there's Monica there.
Today, Natalie, her 2 daughters, and her mother remember Monica fondly. And although she's gone, Natalie is using her story to treat other young women, whether they have a family history of breast cancer or not.
I'm using her legacy to bring awareness to people who think, oh, it could never happen to me, or I don't have any family history. I mean, there's only 5 to 15% of hereditary breast cancers. Most breast cancers are new cases. You're talking about 85 to 90% are new cases, new onset. I mean, Monica was tested for BRCA1 and BRCA2 genes. She was negative. This was not a hereditary family history breast cancer. This was a new onset cancer.
Now, Natalie says she wishes she would have pushed her sister to get that mastectomy when she was first diagnosed. She says nowadays more women are opting for the mastectomy, and for that, Dr. Jones thanks Angelina Jolie.
How about that? Well, metastatic breast cancer is a cancer with only a 22% survival rate. Up next, we're going to learn exactly what it is, and the experts clear up some common misconceptions, plus what more than half of people don't understand about breast cancer.
Well, whether you have breast cancer or not, there is plenty you can do to help find a cure. In fact, this weekend, you can get up and head to Ocean City for the Susan G. Komen Race for a Cure. We'll have your event details next. Delmarva Life, we'll be right back.